Hello, Toby Mario here. I was watching Mr. Lama's interview with one of the original Diablo and Diablo 2's creators, Eric Schaefer. You can watch the full interview, it's really interesting. I linked it in the description below. And on there, Schaefer talked about the new game he's currently developing, together with a new game development studio called Moonbeast. After starting as a consultant, he got so interested in the project that came out of retirement to become the CCO, Chief Creative Officer. The company of 12 developers right now was funded by Peter Yu and Phil Shank, both ex Blizzard North developers that worked on Diablo 2 and its expansion Lord of Destruction. The game doesn't have a title announced yet, and it's in really early stages of development. Schaefer told Lama in the interview that they are targeting a 2024's third or fourth quarter for putting the game into people's hands. We don't know if that will be an alpha or a beta, but if I had to bet, it will be some kind of alpha, since they want players to be there in early stages. The company has a subreddit and a Discord, and I took a deep dive into them to know more about what the game is all about. They have a lot of information, a lot of blog posts that they've been posting. So let's get into it.
Yeah, we are definitely targeting getting it into people's hands in some form next year. Uh, maybe third quarter, maybe fourth quarter, but we want that to happen early, both to kind of build up a modding community to get those guys started early. Maybe they can help us with ideas, but just to get feedback. And we again don't we have a smaller company now. I think 14, 13, 14 guys, people, and then we it's different from working at Blizzard where we
Yeah.
had so much input from so many people. So we want to get it in people's hands so that they can let us know what to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was this part of the interview that they talked about the release date, and he mentioned that they want people to get in early, and early for them it will be late 2024. So right now the game is really early in development. It's being made from scratch right now, and they are building the pillars for it. And they want it to be moddable, so they are also working on like a scripting language or some tools to enable modders to implement things in the game. And that's very cool. Okay, so if we check Discord, they have a quite small Discord for now. They have a welcoming message. We are a new development studio with decades of ARPG experience, having been principals on Diablo, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, Nox, Hellgate London, Torchlight, Torchlight 2, Marvel Heroes Online, and more. We also have tons of other AAA game experience under our belt with lead and principal credits on every Blizzard game from the original Warcraft up to World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria. Our current project is a yet unnamed multiplayer isometric fantasy ARPG. Okay, this is the important part. Multiplayer isometric fantasy ARPG. So, like Diablo and Diablo 2. You'll have an original setting. I hope a completely new IP with new lore. Phenomenal 3D graphics with a unique aesthetic. State of the art, highly granular procedural world generation. That is exciting. I think it will be more like Minecraft, where the chunks themselves are created procedurally and not just like Diablo 3 that you have like a set map and they repeat or they change very little on them. So I imagine that it will be like Minecraft. And we will see more examples after. Item system with the feel of Diablo 2, but with many modern enhancements. That's good because the item system on Diablo 2 is really, really great. I love it, and it hasn't been done like that in a long time. So, as a basis, I think they are on the right track. Expansive skill system with an emphasis on player choice and build diversity. Yeah, this doesn't tell us much. Just an expansive skill system. How expansive? Well, they talk about the terrain manipulation actions that the player can make will be skills in the game. So if that's the case, it will be quite expensive. A complete break from traditional ARPG game loops to foster greater replayability. And I think they will achieve this with mods. So if modding is a great part of this game, replayability will be too, because you can make new games, new game modes, new difficulties, whatever you can think of. So yeah, I think they're on the right track for that. Freedom to play alone or with a massive community of other players. Yeah, this part I'll be touching later, but the way they are making servers, they will be making some, they call it shards. So each shard is a server, and each shard can have an individual rule or rule set or a specific mod installed on there. And, or you can play alone in your own server and you just play by yourself, or you make a server with some friends, and then you can also have battles between shards. I don't know how that will happen, but they talk about it in a blog post, so we will get there. Fully moddable with a huge suite of creation tools, so players can add to the game or create entirely new ones. Yeah, that's what I talked about it being moddable. So they really want modders to be part of the creation of the game and include the tools they need in the game itself, and not like download another piece of software that's hard to work with. They want it to be really accessible. Maybe I never played Roblox, but maybe this is like Roblox, because I think in Roblox players can make moddable content and new game modes and everything. So that's a success for them. So if they can make that in the ARPG genre, I think it's a good thing. Okay, this is the welcome message on their Discord, and we have here some questions and answers. So first question is, will David Breivik be joining the team? And the answer, surprisingly, is maybe. He's a friend and we do talk about it now and then. So David Breivik is the creator of Diablo, the first Diablo, along with Schaefer. And he's doing some, I think he has a company of his own. He's doing some small games, I guess, I think, from what I've seen. And if he could join the team, I think it would be really beneficial to this company. And saying a maybe here, it's really hopeful that they can bring all the gang together and make an incredible ARPG. How long has the game been in development? Small team for a year now. So I think there are between 12 and 14 developers on the team. I don't know if they have been 12 since the beginning or since a year ago. We don't know that. But from my feeling is that they should grow to be able to make this game. I don't think just 12 or 14 people can achieve it, but let's see. Is there a sneak peek about the art style? Can we take anything from the Moonbeast logo website as an indication? Not yet. The art style is still evolving somewhat. The banner is from a bit of concept art, but it's just a small piece of something much larger. So we can go to the website. So this is their logo with like a Cthulhu type of thing. So maybe a Cthulhu on the moon. I don't know if we will visit other planets or moons. I don't know. We know nothing about that. We will probably reveal something visual and maybe some game videos within a month or two. So yeah, they have some screenshots. This was posted on July, and now we are in September, and there are some videos, small videos like GIFs and some screenshots, and we will be looking at them later. Are you guys going to in-house scripting or using something standard like Python or Lua and or their GIT variants? It's an in-house scripting language that modders will be able to use as part of a single client and without having to download other tools. So they are developing their own language for modders to use. I think that's really ambitious to be building this. And if they are building this, they will need to have it before building the game itself, because the game will need its engine. and hopefully it will be developed with the in-house scripting language that will be available to modders. So I think right now they are working mainly on that. How do you intend to combat bots? Will you restrict trading like other games? The final solutions are still being discussed, but we do not want a game without trade. No promises are being made about nothing being account bound, but the philosophy is that almost nothing should be bound on pickup. Okay, so I think this will be like a moddable thing. So you can have trading in your server, on your shard, or you can disable trading and it's just solo self-found for everyone, or bind on pickup for every item, or not bound. I hope they make it configurable so everyone can play as they like it. Are there any plans to support non-official multiplayer like TCP/IP? Not fully decided, but it's definitely a valid option. Well, hopefully you can just start up a server on your own machine and play by yourself, and your friends can join via IP, or if they allow people to have their own shards, I think it's really easy to do. I've always thought that similar to other games that are moddable, think 7 Ways to Die, Rust, it would be cool to be able to officially rent a server that you can mod heavily. We got you, fam. So they will have servers and we'll rent them for people that want to. But I also hope that they distribute the server side so people can have their own private servers. Are there any plans for PvP? I'll say our first non-melee combat skill was a fireball, and one of the first changes we made into it was that it could alert players. So hopefully this will be a setting, like all the other things. You can enable, disable on your shard. You can have a pure PvE world or a pure PvP or a mix of the two or toggling between them, whatever. Yeah, hopefully it will be like that. I'm not imagining they building the game to be PvP focused, but since they want mods to be a huge part of the game, people can mod the game and balance PvP for that, balance the classes for that, balance the skills for PvP, and the developer Moonbeast doesn't have to do all that work. They can outsource it to modders. So that's a good idea. Any news how you guys are looking to monetize? What your revenue model is? Nothing to announce at the moment, other than no subscriptions. And that I dislike the free-to-play model. Okay, so no subscriptions, not like WoW or Final Fantasy 14, and they dislike the free-to-play model. So most likely you will be able to buy the game and then have access to it and to all the content, and maybe they will launch expansions and more modding tools and DLC. I don't know. I'm speculating here. Yeah, but I see it as being a buy-to-play game, like V-Rising or Minecraft, that or games like that you buy the game and then you can play it. Is there a Kickstarter or Patreon? We don't have either. How is the item inventory going to look and feel? We call it Tetris style. So like Diablo and Diablo 2, where different items will be different sizes and take up different amounts of slots in the inventory, similar to how Diablo 2 works, but not to the extreme of Tarkov, where you can rotate items to fit. We like the Diablo 2 inventory system, but we have highlighted the pain points and how they can be resolved with more modern approaches without compromising how it looks and feels. Okay, so Tetris-like, we know that, but we don't have any more information. Hopefully it's not a short to organize your inventory. I don't like that. What are the plans for materials taking up too much space? We aren't planning to have unlimited space, but to bring the Tetris style in the modern era, we are looking at solutions for materials. That could be through gem, rune, and crafting bags, but these systems are still under discussion. Yeah, that helps a lot if you have like a bag for all your materials. Like on Diablo 3, all your materials are a separate bag and they are cross character. I think that's a good way to have it. How is designing around consoles as well as PC going to impact the inventory user interface? One thing that it doesn't make sense to use to give a benefit just to maintain a consistent UI between the two platforms. Both have strength and weaknesses, and we will work with that. Okay, so they are on the opinion that they should have like two different user interfaces, one for PC and one for consoles. I think they should be coherent, of course, but their philosophy is that it doesn't make sense to give up benefits. Like Diablo 4 on PC, has a lot of inconveniences because of console gamers, and that's not the best thing to have. Will this game have a hardcore mode? It will most certainly will, among other things. Okay, and if it doesn't, a modder can do that, right? It's easy. Any clue if the user-generated content can go commercial here? Yes, as part of the plan, and modding is a design pillar here. Okay, that's good to know. If modders want to commercialize their own mini games or their own servers, they can do that. That's good. Do you guys think it will be eventually possible to mod this game far enough to completely recreate or at least to replicate Diablo 2 as a whole? That's a difficult question to answer. There are a lot of nuances, so my response should have been taken as complete. In the initial iteration of this project, we won't let people upload new graphics or textures. For one, it would make it much harder for us to pass console certification approval if we were to do so. Not only that, but it would require us to hire a larger number of customer service staff to handle this, even if just for the PC side. Possibility of people uploading copyrighted content could put the platform in jeopardy. Of course, this makes sense. They won't allow people to upload Diablo textures or Diablo 3D models or Marvel, Hulk, and Captain America in the game. Yeah. So it makes sense for them not to allow this at the start. Maybe, possibly in the future, they might allow that. And if they have like a system to verify if the user that uploads the graphics or textures have the rights to them. However, we believe that there's an avenue to allow user uploaded graphics content later if the game is successful. A lot can be done when you're successful. Exactly what I was saying. That's something we would like to see in future iterations. Therefore, some of our planning incorporates that idea. If we do out-of-the-box support privately hosted servers that don't exist on the platform, this is a big if, and has it been decided? So, okay, going back to the shards and the privately hosted servers, they haven't decided on it. Hope they decide to allow that. Then players could theoretically mod those the same way they mod any game. However, doing so may still not comply with any EULAs, which is something I'm not qualified to answer. We as developers want EULAs to be permissive, but both publishers and attorneys on all sides will naturally push for restrictive EULAs as a matter of course. So the game mechanics are intended to be moddable. If you want to create your own world where everyone's hardcore player killing, that's intended to be possible. Yes, but you won't be able to create a complete different game with complete different graphics from it. That also makes sense. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, we have an image. Added this day of coding today, added a bunch of features to the scripting language. I don't know what this was, July 23. Declaring, getting, setting variables, variable scoping, for, while, do loops, break, continue, comma operator, increment, arithmetic, and assignment operators. Too long didn't read. The scripting language is starting to feel a bit more like a real programming language. So in July they were starting to build the scripting language for the game. So this is really early in development. That's what this says. So from the Discord side, I think that's it. Now, I'm not sure who the username is, MBPHU. I think it's Peter Hugh. That's the founder of the company. I think the name is Moonbeast Peter Hugh. So I'm guessing it's Peter Hugh. If not, then I'm sorry about that. We wanted to make a fully moddable RPG. To do that, we needed not only turn or level editor, but one that integrates with procedurally generated levels. This post isn't about Letterbit, but rest assured we're going back to our roots, and our levels are procedurally generated, much more so than most RPGs these days. Okay, this post is about what our desire for an accessible level editing tool led us to. First off, we need a visual terrain editor. No one wants to define levels in a text editor, not since the 80s anyways. We wanted this to work directly from within our client, because that's just better than having to download or boot up another application. It has to be easy to use, but be able to produce high fidelity environments that at least get close to modern RPGs that are mostly constructed out of larger set pieces. Furthermore, we wanted this to work online, because cloud. This is starting to sound complicated. Making a great game and a great editor is a lot of work. Is there maybe some way to make it easier? Enter bright idea, we need a skill system. How about if we make all the level editors function skills? Yeah, this is where I think I touched on this point. The tools that you will use to mod the game and to edit the game are skills in the game. So you can extend that to everything, right? You can have a character that has like construction worker class that can modify terrain in a certain way, right? And skills for that. And that sounds good. So that opens a lot of possibilities. Creators will need to create skills anyway. If level editor functions are basic skill building blocks, then they'll be able to put them together in interesting ways. And they'll be able to extend the level editor themselves by combining them into new skills. And skills work in multiplayer, which means players will be able to create their worlds together. Nice. That sounds great. Yes. So that's what we started building. But how do we make it look good? We thought about all different types of terrain and levels in WoW, Warcraft 3, Diablo 2, 3, 4, Torchlight, Marvel Heroes, Hellgate, a lot of games. We covered a lot of ground because there are a lot of ways to build levels and there was stuff we could learn from all of those. In the end, or maybe it's really just the middle, we came up with something pretty cool. It's chunky and grid based, which makes it very easy to work with. So I will say Minecraft like. But it's also got fine details and lots of soft edges, which makes it look good. It does real-time mesh generation and tessellation and words that I don't know the meaning of. Me neither. It looks unique and beautiful and just fun to run around and see all the stuff that somehow got procedurally generated. And to take in sunsets and waterfalls and canyons and ruined temples. And we can take a brush and paint on it and raise the turn and lower it, cut out pieces and change the biome. It's all exactly what we wanted. And then came Fireball, and we thought, we can generate this terrain in real time, right? Shouldn't Fireball leave a crater where it hits? And a few hours later, I'm stuck in a giant pit as 6 flames slinging goblins dig me a hole I can't get out of. It's freaking hilarious. You can probably guess what comes next. It's just a short way from Fireball to Meteor Swarm. One press of the button and the landscape goes from idyllic and rolling hills to a pit of slag and blackened rock. You bet I hold the button down and start digging my way down to hell. That sounds cool. Kinda gone along, I need to catch the train, start making pretty regular RPG with modding. We're now making something spectacular. Stay tuned, because there's a lot more to come. Great, and I think we can look at some of the images. First ever screenshot. It's really high resolution. Look, the terrain is really detailed. Look at all that grass. But you can still see that they are blocks, right? Like Minecraft blocks. Then you have trees and... I really like the art style of... I don't think this is final or anything, but it looks cool, like some chibi version of an ARPG caster or something. Yeah, the game looks good for now. It's still really early in development, and yeah, I like how the lightning works and how it reflects on the leaves. Really good looking. And this is the islands biome, first playable islands biome. You can see some terrain in the background, which is an artifact of our extremely granular procedural generation, a la Minecraft, and total environment in-game deformability. Everything you see is reachable by the character. And I think we can see on the second screenshot, it's the same character throwing a fireball through to the abyss. And I think that this thing is called corruption or gloom or something. I think it's gloom, the red purple thing. I think it's like a fluid or something that spreads. Oh, there's this image. It's difficult to see. I think we can zoom in on it. So there's some kind of flower with a pink thing coming out of it. The character is the same character, is dead. And is below a monster, like a fiery monster, corrupted monster or something. And more of the corpses are here. And one of them is alive next to like a stone or a material. Yeah, looks good. And also, there's this image as well. And here they have torches. They have the tentacle monsters, so I think the Cthulhu theme is appropriate here with the logo for their company. And then we have some rock fortification, like a castle or something that you might be able to build. And the fireball being thrown to the monsters down there. Looks incredible, yeah. And it's just really early in development. It already looks good, so I'm excited for it. And we have a GIF from meteors destroying the terrain. That's what they are talking about. It's the same character, the same elf-like sorcerer. They rain down on the terrain and the water spreads like in Minecraft, from what I can see. I even asked about this on Reddit. Have you thought about different types of terrain that interact differently with certain skills? For example, a blizzard ability would be able to freeze up bodies of water so you could walk on, or different types of rock, ones that wouldn't get destroyed, or others that would. And yeah, absolutely. And of course, different types of terrain with different qualities, different ways to skills interact with terrain, different types of terrain interact with each other. If you peer closely at the GIF, you'll see that the meteors actually break the rim of the pond north of the character, causing the water to flow out. What do you imagine will happen when the water comes into contact with, say, a pool of lava? It will make rock, of course. So we can kind of expect Minecraft-like terrain manipulation then? Yes. So yeah, it will be like Minecraft. And I think that is a really good thing. And it will introduce a new way to play RPGs. And that's what's exciting about it. So if you are enjoying this video and want to keep up with news of this game and want me to make more content like this, please follow and comment down below and subscribe and click the bell so you have notifications for it. And if you would like for me to cover new upcoming games, other new upcoming games, please tell me so in the comments below. Thank you. So I've been recording for almost 2 hours and just noticed that the itemization itself was a topic that took me like 1 hour to comment on. So I'll be making this video about what we know of general features of the game, and I'll make a subsequent video just focused on itemization if you are interested in it, and with my comments on the blog posts that they made on Reddit. And also I'll have the Reddit links down below, as well as the Moonbeast's Discord, so check them out.